Hello friends and fellow gamers, MKxJUMP here, and this week we're checking out the new event for Idle Heroes, which is actually a pretty exciting Prophet Orb event. I don't think anyone was really expecting this until it just showed up out the blue, and it turns out even free-to-play players can get themselves some really good rewards. And we have a gala, so if you've saved up Contract Starry Gems, things are looking pretty good. Before we go ahead and check that out though, let me remind you about Patreon. It's a way you can support my content and get rewards and perks in return. This month's been a bit funny for account reviews, but hopefully things will be back to normal in September. So if you're interested in getting your account reviewed in September, go ahead and click the link up there, back me on Patreon, and get yourselves ready through joining our Discord for more information on how that works. So yeah, Patreon is definitely something worth checking out if you want to support my content. But either way, let's go check out the content for this week in Idle Heroes. So, every day for logging in, we're going to get ourselves 5 sweet lollipops and a Prophet Orb. Very important for making progress this week, so make sure you collect those and log in every single day to maximize your rewards. Now, we have a Soul Awakening session, which is a way that people can go ahead and do awakens to achieve points, and points mean prizes. And the more points you get, the better the chances of top rewards. If you get to 200 points, you'll be guaranteed a B stone, which you can use in future events, not this week, unfortunately, as this will be collected far later in the future, but you can use that B stone to get yourself a guaranteed copy of a B hero or higher, and some people even high roll A tier heroes. I did manage to get an A plus from one. It is possible. It's rare, but it's possible. So yeah, B stones are pretty cool, especially for free-to-play players, because it's one of the few ways you can guarantee getting yourself a good hero copy, because Bs are very good for making progress. All you need really is a B Vulcan and a B Jara, and you can pretty much beat the whole game. So sounds very fun. Well, you could do with B tenants as well for those heroes, well, for the Vulcan anyway. So yeah, you'll need a few B stones, but I digress. Anyway, the Wizard Union's coming to an end. If you haven't gone ahead and cashed in these feathers, go ahead and do so. And the best thing you can really go for is the Starspawn cores. Make sure you cash in your Universal Crystals to do that. If you don't have any Universal Crystals that will get you enough for Starspawn Core 5s, probably best you just go ahead and pick up either skins or Heroic Summon Scrolls or Glory Epic Hero Chests or whatever gets you fancy. I think Scrolls are typically the big popular one to go for, but it doesn't really matter as long as you use them. We have our value packages for this week. That's Gems, Prophet Orbs, and Sweet Lollipops. Typically not that inspiring, but maybe you might be interested in spending some Contract Starry Gems on this if you've got any left over after doing the gala. It's unlikely, though, when you take a look at just how many you're going to need to do this, so perhaps it's worth just skipping these packages for this week. The Lollipop Factory is a pretty interesting package, which is giving 10,000 gems, 70 Prophet Orbs, 35 Sweet Lollipops, a guaranteed smash quick clear button feature for Fantasy Factory, which I don't really use that much, and a ×2 double reward, which means you get twice as many honey stars, which can be quite useful, and ×3 reward in the Summer Melody. Now, the Summer Melody we'll skip straight to, which is the thing that makes actually this pretty good, is awesome. It's getting you a point for every Prophet Orb, 3 points for each Honey Star and Aurora Stars you've used, so don't ever forget, in Fantasy Factory, you're not just getting rewarded for going ahead and swipping and doing shapes like so. You can actually use your Aurora Stars saved up from previous Fantasy Factories, and if you've been stockpiling a ton like me, you can actually push out a ton of progress and get yourself loads of stuff in the Summer Melody. Now, what's also cool about the Summer Melody is it gives you 5 points for each awaken you do in the Soul Temple, and you can get a maximum of 1,000 points across all 3 sources. So any combination of Prophet Orbs using Honey Stars or Aurora Stars and Awakening Heroes will get you enough points to get the following rewards. Every 100 points, so each 100, so you can get this technically 10 times, is 15,000 Stellar Shards each time, with 15 Master's Toolboxes, 5,000 Spiritual Lessons, and a Transcendence Copy chest. That's great. Each 200 is going to be 15,000 more Stellar Shards, another 5,000 Spiritual Lessons, another 15 Master's Toolboxes, and a Transcendence Copy chest 5, which contains all the older heroes that we have here. Not the oldest ones, but the ones from, like, I think 2022 these ones are from. And then 300 is pretty awesome. That's just getting you a copy of the newer heroes, including Natalie. That's very nice. But the big thing is getting to 1,000 points, because if you do, you get this chest where you can choose one of the following. You can either get an artifact, which doesn't contain the new artifact, so I'd probably gloss over that. I'd go ahead and look at instead Sublimation Selection chests, they're pretty good, or half a Core of Origin chest. And both of these are obtainable free to play if you've saved up Aurora Stars, Prophet Orbs, and if you are able to go ahead and do Awakens in the Soul Temple. Now, the big cornerstone of this week's event is the Soul Awakening Gala. You will gain points for every awaken you do, and the higher the tier of the awaken, the more points you get. You will want to be using your Contract Starry Gems in the Soul Temple this week to do this. However, I would only do this if you can get to 300 points. To get to 300 points, I would want to start with at least 4,000 Contract Starry Gems, because the worst thing would be low rolling and not being able to get to 300. You'll also need to destroy most of the hero copies you get to be able to do this, so just be mindful that that's likely something you'll have to do. B stones and C stones that you have from previous events, like I was going to say I do here, but I actually don't. I've used my B-Stone. But like the B-Stone you're getting this week, if you've got one saved up on your account already, that will definitely help you to make progress in this. But either way, if you do get to 300 points or feel like you will get to 300 points, I would definitely go ahead and do this, because even as a free-to-play player, all the rewards you get here are fantastic, and that investment of Contract Starry Gems is great, really good, because 300 points gets you a Sublimation chest or half a Core of Origin. Even just 150 is getting you this Lemon chest here, which is enough for one upgrade on some Sublimation. 100 points is an artifact or a flag, and then you're also getting yourself a treasure coupon and additional various rewards here. But the big thing is, for that investment, you're getting an artifact and 1.5 melon chests worth of materials. But on top of that, that's going to use around 50 awakens to get that far. So that's going to get you 250 points in the Summer Melody, combined with the guaranteed 150 points you'll get just from spending 450 honey stars, which will be really easy to obtain in the Fantasy Factory. That's kind of a standard week for most people. That's 400 points. So straight up, that's going to get you 4 100 chests and 2 200 chests, which is 90 Master's Toolboxes and 90,000 Stellar Shards. That's really, really helpful for free-to-play players, and that's on top of the bonus rewards you're getting, like the Sublimation. So it's really cool that the Summer Melody is giving us Master's Toolboxes as well on top of all that stuff. But if you go ahead and use 600 Prophet Orbs with all that stuff, that takes you to 1,000 points, which is just ridiculous, because that means you're then getting another Sublimation chest or another half a Core of Origin. Now, if you hit a Jigsaw stage in the Fantasy Factory or have a ton of Aurora Stars saved up, you could get even more points from this, which could even mean less Prophet Orbs needing to be used. So if you can do all that, this event is awesome, and that's technically attainable for a free-to-play player or budget player that's been hoarding. If you haven't, though, that's fine. It just means you can't do this event, and you've just got to go ahead and wait for another Soul Awakening Gala in the future. Galas like this do pop up frequently, so there's nothing you're losing out on. It would be just bad if you used your Contract Starry Gems now and failed. That's it. That's the way I think about these Soul Awakening Galas, is get to 300 points or do not bother trying at all. Now, you can get some extra Contract Starry Gems. You get 300 here. You need to cash in a 6-star Dark Hero and a 6-star Light Hero for each. So if you have those lying around, that's fantastic. But I am aware for earlier players that might be quite difficult. I do know that Dark Food and Light Food are definitely needed. If you're a Vulcan main, Light Food is awesome. If you're a Lord of Fear Aspen or a Mockman main, then yes, Dark Food will be awesome for you as well. So a little bit awkward that that exists, but hey, you still need to do it to get more Contract Starry Gems, and Contract Starry Gems are something that free-to-play players and budget players, or just any player for that matter, will want to accumulate on their account for the very reason this event is here, Soul Awakening Galas. So yeah, make sure you do try and get them as much as possible. The other basic stuff we have is a Heroic Miracle event. You need to get 3 Light 5 stars, 3 Dark 5 stars, and 5 5 stars in each of the other factions. That's going to get you scrolls, armor, and more lollipops for use in the Fantasy Factory. And more importantly, if you do all of that, you get yourself a Natalie. And if you do choose to use Prophet Orbs this week to go ahead and chase the 1,000 box in the Summer Melody, well, you will actually get yourself some decent Prophet Orb rewards, because Geista is actually the top hero for this, which is pretty nice. And also you do get nice soul symbols, and there's a copy of Vesa here and Course of Transcendence. So pretty fun all-round event. I think if you skip this, that doesn't matter. Obviously, it's not a must-do Prophet Orb event. There's no gem spending here really outside of the Fantasy Factory. So it's just kind of one of those events where if you've got it, cash it in. If you don't, that's okay. And this is one of my favorite kind of events, really, because it just kind of lets people think there's zero pressure to engage with it, but if you can, the rewards are fantastic. So it's a win-win for everybody. Free-to-play players have a way of accessing some really cool rewards, but it's only if you've got those Contract Starry Gems saved. So if you've never been saving Contract Starry Gems before, maybe this is your time to start, because the rewards do look pretty fantastic. Next week, we have Sky Labyrinth, Mysterious Chests, and Wishing Fountain, which is giving Garuda as a reward. Not really sure if this is going to be any good. It might be, but September is typically bad, except for Mid-Autumn, which will be an event that will come up, I suppose, at the end of September. So for the next few weeks, things will probably look a little quiet on Idle Heroes. But then again, we say that every other week, and it seems that they do still pull events that seem to be impressive, like this Summer Melody one here. So yeah, anything is possible with DH Games. It is worth mentioning as well, this Lollipop Factory thing, the ×3 rewards is actually pretty cool in the Summer Melody because it means you can get this top chest 3 times. So if you think you can get to 1,000 points, yeah, you might genuinely do that. Especially with the double honey stars from Fantasy Factory, you'll find getting points in this a lot easier. And the fact that you can triple that 1,000 to 3,000, which means you get this 3 times, is awesome. Because it's only the basic that's capped, but then the triple obviously means you get this 3 times. So yeah, 3 Core of Origin shard chests or 3 sublimation boxes might be quite appealing to you. And it might be $100 well spent for someone that's a newer whale wanting to pick up a lot of stuff. Or maybe you're a player who's chasing a load of Core of Origins because you need them to make the new Destiny heroes. Not to mention you're going to get a ton of Stellar Shards from both of these first 2 chests as well. So yeah, it will add up, and it probably is a pretty decent investment for $100. So yeah, let me know if you're going to be buying that and maxing it to 1,000 or 3,000 if you're a spender. Let me know if you're a free-to-play player and you plan on pushing and getting high rolls in the Awakens. And if you are someone who is going to be engaging with the community online this week, and you do hear that people get a bunch of A tiers, don't find that as something disheartening from their Awakens, because people that don't do well don't brag about it. So it's just a false echo chamber where the only people that you hear are the people that did well, because the people that didn't do well aren't saying anything. So it's just noise, because the only people making noise are the people who did well. So don't be thinking you've got bad luck. It's actually really, really hard to get an A tier. But if you do, congratulations. And yeah, we really do need a gala right now because the auction house has got some really strange prices. So I think this will be good for the game. Either way, folks, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you found this event review useful. If you have any questions about the event, let me know in the comment section and I will try my best to get back to you. If I don't, I'm sure many people in the community will, and I'm sure they'll offer their advice and guidance in the comment section as well. Either way, thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic week. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this every Friday. And of course, until then, have a good week and happy idling.